Hi, my name's Ken McLeod, owner of Identify.com, and I'm really excited to tell you about an amazing weight loss and fat loss offer I've put together for you. And if you'll just keep watching this video all the way through to the end, I promise this information is going to blow you away. And even if you're not interested in the offer, no problem. I'm going to give you enough tips and information in this video to get you started on the path to creating the real body you desire. See that little guy with the spear? He's a very significant part of this information that I'm about to share with you, yet we've all but forgotten about him. But the one thing we can all learn from him right now to get started losing weight almost immediately is to simply stop eating a so-called health food, especially if you want to lose fat, especially if you want to build muscle. But if you already eat and keep eating this so-called health food, your body is going to flood itself with bad hormones. Hormones that literally convert what you eat into pure fat. Hormones that wreak havoc with the 75 to 100 trillion cells that make up your entire body. Hormones that eventually lead to serious illness, even death. You're also going to learn critical facts to creating that perfect body that's been hiding inside of you. Watch this video all the way through to the end and you'll learn why eating more of your favorite foods and spending a lot less time working out is going to give you better results, faster results, results you'll not only see in your mirror but hear from your family and friends when they ask you how you're doing it. Did you know that there are specific foods out there that actually trigger your body to release a torrent of hormones that chemically break down fat? Hormones that dissolve years of fatty deposit buildup inside your body at the cellular level, then turn right around and burn those deposits up as fuel. These are the very same hormones that reverse aging, restore energy levels like you had back in your youth, and even more important, these are the hormones that develop and create strong, healthy bodies by simply unlocking the genetics that have been lying dormant inside of you all these years. Keep watching and I'll tell you what some of these foods are, and guess what? You won't have to take any dangerous pills, starve yourself, work out to exhaustion, or do anything extreme, unreasonable, or unhealthy. I'm going to explain to you how to make losing weight easy, fairly automatic, and best of all, permanent. I'm going to reveal to you how most of the traditional weight loss wisdom and understanding you've been taught since childhood is wrong. This is the same wisdom and understanding that turned America into the fattest nation in the world. If absolutely anything I've just mentioned sounds even remotely interesting to you so far, then please pay attention because, let's face facts, you're watching this video right here and now because you're looking for a change. You're looking for something that works, but more important, you're looking for something that works for you. And I know what you're thinking. You've already seen and heard it all, right? You've probably even tried it all when it comes to losing weight. But what I'm about to reveal to you is different. You've never seen anything like this, and I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised when you see just how easy it is to implement these easy-to-follow tips to achieve a body you can be proud of. One of these tips in particular might even astonish you. These are the exact same tips I myself used to drop 44 pounds of pure fat and achieve my ideal body fat percentage. Then I shared them with my family, friends, and associates, and the amount of pounds and fat everyone's been able to shed is even more astonishing. Now remember, I'm going to tell you exactly how to melt away all those nasty pounds of fat quicker than you ever thought possible, and even a few more tips that melt fat by working out less and eating more. First though, I'm going to share a story with you that's very difficult to relive, so do us both a favor. If you're not serious about melting fat and losing weight, stop watching this video right now. I mean really, just stop watching. On the other hand, if you are serious about melting fat and losing weight, I want you to stay tuned. I want you to watch this video all the way through. Sound fair? And just so you know, I wasn't always the go-to guy that the family, friends, and associates turned to when they finally decided to get serious about melting fat and losing weight. And I sure as heck wasn't a best-selling weight loss or fitness guru like you see in the books and on TV. I actually smile when I think about it, but I'm sure I was probably a lot like you are right now. I just tried to watch what I eat when I could. But in reality, when it came to being fit and healthy, I was a complete disaster. And that disaster exploded back in 1997 when my ex-wife decided to have an affair because she couldn't stand me anymore. Then after the affair, she divorced me and I started eating like crazy to ease the pain. But the pain didn't go away. Eating like crazy only caused me to feel disgusting, sick, and really stressed out. But truth be told, I couldn't stop. Like a lot of people who go through something like this, I was always smiling on the outside, but on the inside, I was stressed out more than ever, and my binge eating just got worse. A lot worse. I became so depressed that my employer required me to take a leave of absence and get counseling. But all I could do was eat. Eat and get fatter and fatter. And as you can guess, the eating obviously got completely out of control. I couldn't stop. I turned to eating more and more, sinking deeper into a dark depression. It finally got so bad my employer out and out fired me. And who could blame him? I literally stopped working. Didn't care if I lived or died. No more motivation to do anything but eat. I lived in complete denial and I just kept on eating. My lifestyle choices were non-existent. All I did was eat, and eventually I developed diabetes. But even then I didn't wake up because my dad had also developed diabetes around the same age. I figured I inherited it. And even though I ended up taking lots of pills, all they did was help me get through life one day at a time when really I should have been changing my eating habits and getting some exercise. But I just kept on eating, bouncing around the couches of friends and family because I had no more income. And instead of changing my lifestyle, I raided everyone's refrigerator while they were asleep. I was out of control and getting asked to leave by the only people that loved and cared about me. And I didn't care. Yet at the same time, I don't blame anyone for asking me to leave. You might say I was definitely treading water in the belly of the beast. I remember sleeping in my car thinking, no way could things get any worse. Boy, was I wrong. Things got a lot worse. But let me get back to that. Maybe you understand the feeling of hopelessness I was going through. Maybe you're going through it right now. Maybe you too know that you need a change. And if that's true, don't let things get so out of control that you hit rock bottom before you decide to take back control. Don't let it take going through a painful experience like it did for me. It all happened on a Saturday afternoon in Northern California, my visitation day with my 3 kids. I didn't have a place to live, so I had to visit them at a park. It was early summer and beautiful outside, perfect weather, sunny but with some clouds. The park wasn't crowded. A perfect day for spending time with my kids. I hung out at the playground and waited. I watched a few other kids playing, which really made me miss my own kids even more. A lot more. My kids never showed up. I waited at that park until midnight. I kept calling my ex-wife, but there was no answer, and I eventually filled up the answer machine. The one and only thing I had left in my life, my kids, were gone. I told you I didn't think it would possibly get any worse, but it did. I felt like a big fat loser. And you know what? I was a big fat loser. I spent the night in my car again and called my kids the next morning, and surprise, they answered. I talked to my 2 youngest kids first, 5 and 7. It was really good to hear their voices. I missed them. I missed them a lot. But then my oldest got on the phone while I was eating a huge bag of potato chips. As I tried to have a conversation with my 14-year-old daughter, she stopped in the middle and asked, "Daddy, what are you eating?" "Potato chips," I replied. "Those aren't healthy," said my daughter. "It's just a snack," I said. "That's all you ever do, Daddy, snack. That's all we ever do when we visit you, snack." I stopped eating right then and there and simply blurted out, "So?" And my daughter proceeded to explain that she no longer wanted to visit me. She said she was tired of sitting on food wrappers in the back seat, tired of cleaning the car out every time she visited, tired of all the nasty smells. But you know what really hit me? She proceeded to tell me that her 2 younger brothers cried every time they were in a grocery or convenience store because all they wanted was all the same food their daddy ate. She said she didn't even like snacks anymore because of how they made me look. She said she was afraid if she kept eating snacks, she was going to end up fat, like me. I was silent. In fact, I had tears pouring out of my eyes. My daughter finished the conversation by telling me she didn't want to see me anymore. Right then and there, I saw my life spiral down into a black hole. My heart was broken. But looking back on that telephone call, it set me free. It took a 14-year-old to get through to me, to finally make me understand just how bad my increasing weight problem was becoming. And what she said hit me like a ton of bricks, because before that telephone call, we had been the best of friends. She'd always been proud of me being her father. She'd always been proud of being my daughter. Yet, I'd taken all that for granted. I never thought my daughter would teach me the most valuable life lesson I'd ever learned. That was the day she gave me some tough love. That was the day she decided not to take it anymore. And what did I do? I drove 2 hours away to my mom's house in order to lick my wounds and eat. See, I knew my mom would have an entire cupboard full of crap for me to binge on, and since I had failed my daughter, it was time to binge again. You heard right. I was driving 2 hours away to eat. When I got to my mom's, I told her what had happened, and just as I was jamming a cookie into my mouth, my mom said, "She's right." Huh? "She's right," my mother said again. "Just look at yourself." My mother then pushed me from the kitchen into the bathroom and in front of the mirror. "Look at yourself," she screamed. But I couldn't. I couldn't even lift my head up. I already knew what I'd see, and it wasn't pretty. And yet at the same time, I wanted to change. In what was probably the worst moment of my entire life, I made a promise to myself. I promised that I would change. I would take back control of my life, and that would start by taking control of my weight. And I was going to succeed no matter what. I had already tried a dozen different diets throughout as many years, and I knew this time I needed to try something different. I needed to find the missing piece of the puzzle, even if that meant studying every medical research paper ever written about diet, weight loss, and fitness. And if I had to, I'd buy every book there was on fitness, diet, and weight loss. And I did. I dug through a myriad of medical research. I created dossiers and profiles of strong, healthy people, and literally devoured anything I could get my hands on that would provide me with any kind of clue to changing my body. And I discovered what I believed to be the answer in a medical research paper about Paleolithic nutrition. Now, after I read this paper, I conjured up an interesting idea that I'll get to in a minute. An idea that I feel really holds the key to realistically developing the body you truly desire. So keep watching. And just so you know, I'm absolutely no different than you. I'm just a guy who finally had enough of being fat. When my daughter gave me the tough love I really deserved, it wasn't until then that I finally got off my butt and started really getting serious when it came to finding a weight loss and fat loss system that always works. That's right, a system that always works. A system that stimulates your body to burn fat for fuel. And the reality is, when your body burns fat for fuel instead of holding on to it because it thinks it's starving, there's nothing left for your body to do but expose the amazing body that's been hiding under all your blubber. This is a weight loss, fat loss system that lets people like us turn our fat-fighting hormone switch on, so we can lose weight easily, quickly, restore our energy, and feel immeasurable confidence throughout the day. This is the exact same system I personally used to drop 44 pounds, and it's the exact same system I want to share with you so you too can finally experience permanent weight loss and fat loss too. In just a minute or two, I'm going to go into detail about it, but first, I just want to tell you something. It's not your fault. That's right. Let me say it again. It's not your fault. Let me tell you about the biggest single problem we all face right now in this post-industrial revolution world anytime one of us decides to lose weight. And before I say this, I know every once in a while the truth hurts, but if I've learned anything in my life so far, it's that sometimes a little tough love is exactly what we need. Most people today believe they have to starve, take a pill, avoid all their favorite foods, and work out like crazy to lose weight. Not true at all. We've been lied to about weight loss for years, and it's very likely those same lies are keeping you from sculpting the body you both desire and deserve. If you're one of the people that were fed these lies, it's time right now to stop believing in lies and start believing in the truth. You remember the old saying, The truth will set you free. Well, it's true. So let me set you free. Did you know that weight loss is a $650 billion a year industry? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of big business. Corporations. Corporations run by executives who have a responsibility to turn a profit for their shareholders. If these corporate executives neglect their fiduciary responsibilities, they can go to jail. Do you think they want to go to jail? Of course not. So think about it. If these corporations told you specifically how to lose weight, if they told you you didn't actually need any of their pills or special equipment, what would happen to their sales? You wouldn't buy anything from them. And if you didn't buy anything from them, and we multiply that by millions of people in the United States also not buying anything from them, what would happen to their sales? They wouldn't have any sales. And no sales means they would not produce the maximum amount of profit for their shareholders. It's kind of like that mosquito that lands on your arm. It doesn't want to kill you. It just wants to eat. Unfortunately, even if you slap a mosquito, there's always going to be more of them that eventually land on your arm. Well, how would you like to slap all the mosquitoes out there with one slap? Let's do it with the truth. The truth is pretty easy too, and here it is. The real key to eliminating fat from your body and losing weight lies in controlling those hormones we were talking about earlier. How do we control them? By eating specific foods at specific times and limiting your exercise. This simple truth triggers your body to release a huge flood of hormones that chemically burn the stored up fat you have in your body. And here's another truth. Get more rest. Getting more rest helps you lose weight because of a specific hormone that tries to restore the body you had when you were younger. It's a scientific fact that by simply getting more rest, your body releases HGH, or human growth hormone. HGH is responsible for not only restoring youthful strength and vigor, but repairing all the damage done by living in a world full of dangerous toxins. As your body releases HGH, your metabolism increases. When your metabolism increases, you burn more calories each day, making it easier to keep the weight off once you've lost it. Ready for more truth? Good. Let's talk real quick about working out. Most workouts you see today will have you working out of the gym like crazy at least every other day. Some workouts recommend 10 or more hours each week just to exercise. Well, here's the truth. You simply do not have to work out that much for amazing results. Do you even have the time to work out that often? I know I sure don't. Are you starting to see why many of us feel completely hopeless about our weight? We're already stressed out running around because we have jobs, families, and lives to take care of, and now they tell us we've got to find 10 more hours in our week to work out? Are they serious? Experts agree the top 3 leading causes of stress are work, money, and health, and adding even more stress to the average American's pre-existing stress has a real downside: cortisol, known as both the stress hormone and the belly fat hormone. Cortisol is secreted in higher levels during the body's fight or flight response to stress. Cortisol also causes belly fat, excessive weight gain, and even obesity. Not only can chronically high cortisol levels be the guilty culprit of belly fat, but sustained high levels of cortisol can eventually lead to adrenal fatigue. Not only that, but stress literally increases your body's production of cortisol, and having consistently high levels of cortisol in your bloodstream can cause cellular damage and in turn suppress your immune system responses, digestive system, reproductive system, and growth processes. Notice this is all in addition to gaining weight. When you don't get proper rest and recovery from your day-to-day activities, all that stress will do 2 things to sabotage your weight loss and fat loss efforts. It's a fact that cortisol is by far the most fat-producing hormone, and unless you take steps to manage your stress levels and balance your cortisol hormones, you could be on the road to obesity. And the best way to hop off this runaway train is to actually decrease those hours in the gym and get a good night's sleep. But more important, get the right amount of sleep at the right time, which will very likely be more than you're getting now. Sleeping and waking up at the right times every day allows your body to shut off the cortisol valve and increase your natural HGH levels, thus restoring both energy and health to your body while increasing your metabolism for fast, permanent weight loss and fat loss. Look, I'm not telling you anything here that shouldn't already be obvious to you. You already know how good you feel after a good night's rest. How would you like to feel like that for the rest of your life? Picture feeling like that every day, all day long, because you've triggered your body to release a flood of healthy hormones while the bad hormones are put in check. By this time next week, this can be your reality. Oh, I almost forgot the next to the last tip. You need to completely cut out grain-based foods from your diet, and here's why. When your insulin levels are high, your body stores fat, plain and simple. You can look it up, but it's a scientific fact. On the other hand, when insulin levels are low, your body burns that stored up fat for fuel. Eating grain-based foods spikes your insulin levels through the roof, and it happens fast, causing your body to grow fatter with each and every bite. But if you'll simply avoid insulin-boosting foods, your body not only maintains low insulin levels, but consistently burns fat and keeps your energy levels high. All you have to do is replace any grain-based foods with other carbohydrates that are actually outstanding for weight loss. And here's the most important tip of all, and if you do this wrong, all the other tips I've given you will be worthless. But if you do this right, your body will become leaner, stronger, younger. Your weight loss will be effortless. All it takes is triggering your body to release a surge of hormones that chemically break down fat, then turn right around and burn that fat as fuel. How do you trigger your body to do exactly that? By working out for shorter periods of time with specific exercises at just the right level of intensity for you. If you work out too much, you'll stop making progress and plateau. Work out too little, and you'll never get any results anyway. This works because it duplicates the activities of our ancient ancestors, both the caveman and cavewoman. Before you start laughing, think about this. There were no fat cavemen, no fat cavewomen. Evidence shows that their bodies were lean and hard, sculpted and toned to natural perfection. So when you exercise in a similar way that these prehistoric beings exercised, your body arouses the same ancient DNA that eventually wakes it up completely. Get these tips right and your weight loss is going to be quick, safe, and guaranteed, because it really is your hormones that make or break your fat loss efforts. When you get these tips right, the fat can't help but melt away. It's simple, basic science. It happens the same way over and over again, just like clockwork. Imagine a guaranteed way to burn fat. Eating your favorite foods all the time, taking time to rest, relax, and enjoy your life for a change, then looking in the mirror and seeing a sleeker, healthier you. At this point, you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed, but you have two choices. So, hey, you can try to go it alone and take the tips I've given you so far and use them to figure this out on your own. It's possible, and you may even see some results. Or you can make an informed decision, since I've already done all the work for you by creating the Paleo Pure Fat Loss System below. I mean, hey, you've stuck with me this far, right? Why not scroll down the page and read the rest of what I'm offering to you and 999 other individuals before the price goes up. You aren't going to believe the value here, but I want you to finally succeed. Scroll on down and read my offer, and thanks for watching.